You don't get a special guest tonight, and you don't get Philly. You just get us four knuckleheads, and we're going to sit around and just shoot the shit. Exactly what the show was intended to be way back 20 episodes ago when we first started this idea. So, as usual, we got Dave up in Kincardine, Mark in the Ottawa Valley, and Ryan down on the east coast of Canada. And you know what, fellas? We're finally starting to see some dead birds here in Canada starting to show up on social media. And fellas and ladies are really starting to get into the groove of things right now with early goose happening here in Ontario. And for us, Dave, we're only about a week out for the duck opener. So it's getting time, boys, and can't wait. What are you looking at, Ryan? How long before you're ready to start shooting?
We've already started. Early goose is full swing. I was on a hunt last week where we shot 54 between 8 shooters, and there's early season limit out here is 8 birds per hunter.
Okay.
And then Saturday we've got our youth hunt for Waterfowl Heritage Day. So we've got a silage field. It's got about 150 honkers and a few ducks in there. So we're just taking 2 kids out. So it should be lots of fun for them. One guy's gonna run a camera. I'm just gonna run a call, and it should be a good time. We're looking forward to it.
That's awesome. I wish. And you're taking Liam Kazera out, right?
Yeah,
so that would be
Liam.
That'd be a lot of fun to be with him again.
Yeah.
Vitch, are you still coming down my way for duck opener, buddy?
Yes, man.
Yes. Awesome. Dave, what's your plans for opener, buddy? You and Colby?
Yeah, gonna take Kobe out. If the boat's all finished up, then I'll be taking the boat. If not, we'll just find a duck hole somewhere.
Okay. What's the issues with the boat right now?
When you purchase something off Kijiji and you take the floor out because the foam's all soaked, and then you look at the ribs in the floor and you realize that they're all cracked from some knucklehead owning it before you, and yeah, so I'm welding those up, and yeah. Now I'm angry for the episode, you fucker.
Well, just for the listeners that probably haven't been following you on social media, about a year ago, Dave bought the frame to a surface drive mud buddy off a good buddy of ours, Jason Sear, but it didn't have a motor. But he had the frame and all the internal gears and everything like that, all that good stuff. So it took him a while before he finally found an actual motor that he could mount on top of the frame. Got himself his boat, found out that first off, started off, your wiring was all screwed up in your boat. So you had to rewire everything because that was just a nightmare.
Yeah, don't be a stupid fuck and put Moretz on your wiring in the boat. Blue Moretz are not water Moretz.
They're not marine green.
Not marine Moretz, yeah.
So this boat it certainly has been a project for you so far. So far this late part of summer, early part of summer into now. So hopefully you do get her all ready and you guys can get out and smash some birds. I know Mark and I'll be heading up there on the weekend, Mark, to actually go up and scout that again and have a good look and see what we're looking at for numbers. We're really just starting to get some of that cold front that's moving across. Finally starting to see some birds here in Kingston. So up until yesterday, other than local birds, I have not seen a thing. So out where I am now, I'm not seeing any birds unless I go into the city and see them in the parks or whatever. But yesterday I did start seeing some show up. So good sign. And can't wait to get after them. So I got to bring it up. The cormorant hunt that started here in Ontario. Well, it was this week, right? Monday was the first day of it.
I think so.
So I haven't really done a whole lot of like research into it, and because I'm not gonna go out and hunt the fucking things. But to whoever wants to go for it, fill your boots. But what's the law with regards to what do you do with the birds once you harvest them? Like, do you just throw them in a dumpster?
We can.
Really?
Yeah.
I know here in Kingston. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mark.
Compost.
Compost.
I heard a guy said that he was going to try and bait coyotes with them, but I don't think coyotes are stupid enough to eat them.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe a bear would, though.
Honestly, would you feed one to your dog?
No,
No,
of course not.
no. I think they're
A bear.
I think they're fall under the same constraints as like a crow hunt, right?
Okay, a nuisance. Yeah. So I guess a nuisance bird.
Mhm.
So yeah. So the one of the professors from Queen's University here in Kingston, with the biology faculty here at Queen's, they've become very, very vocal here now about the hunt and saying that it's it's pointless and no matter what you do, it's not gonna affect anything because the population is what it is, and you could knock out 40,000 birds right now and it's going to do nothing because 40,000 from another area will just move in, and the population is going to stay at a plateau. It's at that plateau where it can be manageable and Mother Nature does her thing. That's the argument I'm reading. I'm not so sure about that. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more fish out there to feed 40. There's enough fish to keep feeding cormorants.
Is this guy a biologist or is he like an English professor?
Yeah, it's a lady actually, and she's a biologist. Yeah. So that's sort of that theory, and then I touched on it a little bit. I don't think we're doing ourselves any favors. There's a small colony of the birds down on the Big Rideau Lake here and outside of Kingston, and the homeowners around the Big Rideau Lake has said that they didn't want anybody coming in to hunt the birds, purposely coming in to hunt the birds. And now a bunch of hunters have pretty much said, fuck you, you can't tell us what to do. We're going in and we're going to shoot them anyways. So, there's a little bit of back and forth going there. So I don't know, this whole cormorant hunt seemed like it was something everybody was waiting for, but it seems to be somewhat of a polarizing topic the last couple days.
I had a guy stop me at work asking me about it, and he was wondering, like, so you're just going to shoot these birds and leave them? And I said, well, no, like you can dispose of them or bury them or whatever. I think the rules say you can choose to eat them as well. But he was wondering, he's saying, why are you doing this? And like, why would you shoot these birds? And I said, well, have you seen just outside of the power plant that I work at, there used to be a little island with trees on it. And the ammonia in those cormorant shit has destroyed the whole island and all the, and like, look at Ryan Campbell's picture of that one just eating a fish, or those videos of them just eating a whole bucket of fish. And it's not because they need to eat that many fish. They just do. Like, they're a destructive little bastard. They are.
Yeah. Gluttons.
Yeah. It's like any animal in overpopulation, like it's going to have an impact on the environment. Like somebody, like, as hunters, we don't just wake up on a Sunday morning and be like, hey, we should try to eradicate this species or this, there's biology, there's logic, and there's research behind it. Like Dave touched with the acidity and the ammonia in the feces of the bird, and how much population how much effect they have on the fish population. It's like the snow east population. They continue to just decimate. The boreal, their breeding grounds up north and stuff like that. That's why there's such liberal limits on them in certain parts of Canada, right? So it's not just a fart in the wind. There's always logic behind it. There's always studies and research to it. So just people who don't, I mean, if somebody asks that question, like, well, why are you guys going to hunt a cormorant all of a sudden? It's a very valid and logical question, but just for people who just are like, nope, that's stupid. That's just ignorance, because there is valid reason behind it for sure.
But on the flip side too, like, we as hunters don't need to be displaying that we've killed. You know what? Hey, we went out. Me and the four of us went out, and we got our limit, and the limit's 15 each. So we don't need to show that we shot 60 birds. Like, we can maybe in the hunting forums and stuff, but that the exposure that it's getting, people are seeing it now, and that's why it's such a negative impact quickly, if that makes sense, right? Because people are seeing this and they're just like, oh my God, you killed all those birds at once. Well, it's brand new. People are going out for the first time. And so there is a lot of big pictures of it right now.
I think it's getting a negative impact because, you know, if we go out and shoot 4-man limited geese, it's not going to probably upset as many people because we're harvesting those animals. We're using them for food, sausage, jerky, whatever.
Yep.
You don't have to do that with cormorant. As the laws dictate, you're trying to water down the population. So I guess if you're not going to use it for any reason, that would upset certain types of people.
But here's the other question too. Like, I know we all call them like those stinky, gross birds, but do you know anybody that's ever tried to eat one? Sure as shit, I can fucking put money on it. Steve Horst would be the first one that cooks one up. He cooked a goddamn coyote.
Lance is not even going to cook it.
Wow.
Man.
No. You could wrap that thing.
You know what?
Bacon in the world, and I wouldn't eat it.
Yeah.
I just wonder, like, what it would actually, if someone's ever actually tried, you know.
Okay, I have an ex-father-in-law, we'll call him, and I'm not gonna say what nationality he was, but he's not from Canada. He came to Canada as an immigrant, and I bet you he's tried to eat everything he shot. Because when I was hunting with him for ducks, we'd be sitting there, and he did call them mergansers. He just called them fish ducks. He's like, "Oh no, we don't shoot the fish ducks." I said, "Why not? They don't taste good."
No, yeah, little sawbills.
So I'm willing to bet you, at some point, he tried.
He's made that mistake.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody has, and yeah, I think that the biggest thing is try not to give any more fuel. You know, Ryan, you touched on it when you said, you know, if it's goose or duck or whatever else, well, when we shoot it, we eat it, right? And we harvest it and we eat it and stuff. But when it comes to this hunt, it's really a call, right? Not really a call, but a little bit of a call. So I think some people may just get upset just because they don't understand. All they see is the killing of a bird, and they don't understand just how damaging this population is onto, you know, the fish population and what it's doing to the environment, right?
Yeah, it's a crow hunt. It's comparable to a crow hunt. That's what it is essentially.
And you're going to get it everywhere where
Cool.
people sit in their yards and they watch animals, right? They sit there and they watch deer. They sit there and they watch turkeys. They watch geese. Geese come into people's yards. I mean, and then when you mention something to them about hunting that, and they're like, no, you can't hunt them, right? They're our pets.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a cormorant swimming through their water, but they don't see it the way maybe a lot of other people are seeing it. So that's why people get up about it, right?
There we go. I'm hearing some geese, boys.
Coming in your pond.
Is it legal shooting license? Are you licensed? Like,
Yeah.
Okay, if they're within range. I mean, this is
Take the computer.
this is a waterfowl
could you
podcast.
imagine?
I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, could you imagine right from the back deck?
Well, we see
I could hear them. I could hear them, but I can't see them. So I don't know if they dropped down super fast and I just didn't see them or what. But anyways, that's good. It's awesome that they're flying, because up until, like I said yesterday, there was nothing in this area. So sorry, got a little sidetracked there, boys.
Squirrel.
On to change the subject a little bit, very, very good reception of the Fuck Sky Blasters T-shirt that Dave designed and created and put up on the sign, up on the site. Lots of people talking about it. Had a few people buy them. Saturdays are for the birds. Few people buying those too. So appreciate all the support to everybody that's buying. And then Dave, you put out some stickers too, right?
Yeah, there was a.
We're just waiting on the.
We haven't seen what the stickers are like. The site just said that they'll turn stickers in. So hopefully they turn out as good as they're saying they will. Someone's distracted. Get the 12 gauge, Damien. Get the 12 gauge.
Yeah, I can't see them.
Damien, this is
I
Punisher
think it's just a
Waterfowl.
long goose.
You're acting like you've never seen a goose before.
My eyes are over
I
here.
know, but it's exciting because it's in my backyard, and I haven't had that living in the city for so long. So I think it's a lone goose just looking for some company.
Yeah, 12 reasons to say hello.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll maybe tomorrow evening I'll go have a little sit down and see if he comes back again. Sorry, Dave, sidetracked you again, buddy, but the stickers look good. I know Nicole Vatchel ordered some, so hopefully Nicole gets them fairly fast, and she can give us a real good review on how well they are.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nicole, because she's our biggest supporter too.
Yeah.
So when it comes to spending money, there's nobody that touches her when it comes to spending money on the site. So had to do a shout out to Nicole for sure. See, this is the awkward silence that I don't like.
Yeah, see.
Yeah.
So what's I don't know, let's start some topics here, boys. What's some waterfowl etiquette for some new hunters out there? Like for example, if you're a new hunter, how long until you expect that they should start learning to call, or when should they become scouting? Like give some etiquette tips for these new hunters.
I want to start learning to call right away.
Yeah.
If you're going out on your own, you're gonna have a hard time calling.
Yeah.
I think what I see a lot of fellas are doing and it's too bad because they get fucking chewed up for it. But you do see a few fellas that show up on these Facebook groups and they say, "Hey, listen, I'm new to it. Any advice?" And they're trying to pick the brain of the seasoned hunter. The unfortunate thing is that you see too many assholes that just chew these guys up because they're asking questions that they feel that they should already know. But if they don't ask the question, how the fuck are they ever going to know, right? So.
But nowadays with YouTube and all these other channels of how to learn out there, like you can get some coaching advice from some high level callers just by opening up their YouTube video. And one of the biggest pieces of advice I ever saw was one of them said, like, if you want to sound like a duck, go sit where the ducks roost and listen to what ducks sound like and try to imitate that call. Like maybe not do it right there so that they get used to your call, but that's a way to know. But nowadays with YouTube, like, guys are picking it up quick.
Yeah. If you want to put the effort into it, and by the effort I mean actually sit down and listen to what's being told to you in the videos and practice it, you can hit do that for a summer, not even a summer, do it for a month, and you'll probably be able to call better than half the waterfowlers out there.
And
just by doing that.
Yeah, and one of the best things to do is Rusty Heron's cluck scale, which we'll have up on our website here soon, shortly, hopefully. But it's 100% about control and repetition and control until you get to the point that you can do all 5 levels and all that stuff. Like, just listen to the pros and listen to the videos. Like, I mean, some of the guys that are posting sarcastic shit to the people asking on on Facebook groups and stuff, they're being sarcastic because it's been answered 50,000 times before, and a quick search will give you the answer. So, I can see some of it, but we are a small community and we need to kind of stick together, right?
I think a lot of people, when they pick up a call, whether it be a goose or a duck call, they want to do the fast, loud, sexy, whatever first. I want to be able to do a feet chuckle. I want to be able to do, a double clock or whatever. I think it's important, like, no matter what you're learning, like in anything, just for anything in life, you got to master the fundamentals and the basics. So before you can do all that, you got to master that basic quack or that basic honk. And just once you've done that, like once you can pick up that call, like day in, day out, and just execute it and sound like a real bird, then you can kind of build off of it, because it's really the building block or the foundation. And if you get an RT video or a Molt Gear or Field Proven, buy any calling instructional video you want, or on YouTube, they're all going to say the same thing. If you progress too fast, you're going to develop bad habits. So you just got to go slow and go your own pace. And some aspects of it are going to come quicker to you than others, and that's just the way it goes. But yeah, that's for me, that's my biggest piece of advice for people who want to start out and learn. Just go at your own pace, go slow, master the basics first. And calling, and this is like, this not exactly breakthrough, but it's probably the most overrated aspect of waterfowl hunting, 100%. And
Yeah.
Not saying it's not a key factor or it's effective, because it's definitely effective, but it is by far the most overrated one. You can be the worst caller in the world, but if you can find the birds and understand what they're doing and why they're there, you're going to kill them. And calling is just, calling it makes the difference whether you kill them at 15 yards or you kill them at 30.
Yeah, you don't need to be a championship caller to kill birds.
So the two things that you should be, though, is a competitive flagger and a hell of a good scouter, right? Because flagging and scouting, they make the biggest difference, I think.
We had Claudio on last week, and he talked about it. He's like, I'm not a good caller. He's like, this guy, they're not good callers. Daryl Gilbert, obviously, is a great caller, but they kill literally thousands of birds in a hunting season with clients because they are meticulous about finding the details in a hunt that most people don't pay attention to. Because if you just drive by a field and see a field full of birds, and like, that's a hunt, you're wrong.
The one big thing that I took from Claudio's thing last week was the amount of mistakes that he's made over the years, and that he hasn't repeated the mistakes. So you can get as much advice as you want, and you can watch as many YouTube videos as you want, and get as much instruction as you, but until you actually go out and set up with the wind in your face, and you're doing stuff backwards, and you're not, there's stuff you got to do, you got to learn and figure it out on your own, and that only comes with experience. And you can get as much instruction as you want, but you got to put the time in. And Claudio, you know what? We're picking the brain of a man that's been doing it for 30 years, putting clients on birds. And he said he's made a ton of mistakes, and he learns from his mistakes, and that's what sets him up for his success.
What about scouting? If you have a new group of guys, when should they start getting out and scouting with everybody? Day one again, right?
Well, day one, absolutely, you got to. And that's the thing that nobody wants to do.
No.
For some reason, nobody's got time to scout, right?
My favorite part.
So
Yeah, like it's your own quiet time. That's the way I don't do a lot of scouting, but I enjoy it because it's my quiet time. I'm no kids screaming, no honey-do list, none of that stuff, right? I'm just out and I'm looking, and I'm quiet time, radio's on, chatting with friends on social media, and I'm looking for birds. But again, it's something that not a lot of fellows want to do, right? Everyone wants to show up and do the shoot, but they don't want to put the time in for the scout. Dave, I know you run into that sometimes, and you know, and and we all do actually run into fellows that just don't want to scout, right? So, but day one, get out and try to figure out their habits. Try and figure out, you know, what time, because they are creatures of comfort, right? Like they'll almost to the minute when they're leaving the roost and when they're coming into a field or when they're flying over. Like you can, if you do your homework, you can pretty much, they should be showing up by 8 o'clock. You know, I've seen Ryan, you do it a million times. Yeah, birds should be showing up any minute because you've put the work in.
Yeah,
right?
you just got to put time in it. And like Dave kind of asked a question, like for a new guy, like what's the best thing you do regarding scouting? It's like hit the road. Like if you got buddies who, you know, if you're new to it and you don't have a lot of gear, but you have a friend who does, like, well, hit the road and find a hunt for you and those guys. Like, get permission. You know, it's the best thing you can do. But it is important to pay attention to details. And there's so many details, and you're going to learn, like we said, like Claudia's been doing that for 25, 30 years. You're going to make mistakes in the beginning. You can't learn it all in one shot. But I mean, when you find the birds yourself, you get the permission yourself, you've got them patterned. I mean, it's like waterfowl hunting in that aspect is like golf. Like to me, it's like, you know, that 1 in 10 where you hit that ball perfectly, it just keeps coming back. Like it just fuels the fire. And it's the same thing. Like when you're out there and you're scouting and you put your buddies, your good buddies, and you put them on a field, and you know, you're out there and you shoot a 4-man limit, and it's like, oh, you're high-fiving, and then you go have a breakfast at the end of it. And you're like, man, like you feel good about it. Like I found that field, we had a great time. The guys we still talk about that hunt to this day. Like it's the best feeling in the world. So just like put the time in and the effort and do what you got to do.
Something I see it's a common thing you'll see. Someone will come on one of the Facebook groups and they'll say, the farm I have permission on. I said, it's got corn on one side and soy on the other, and I can't wait for the corn to come off so we can get some birds, right? So that's one farm, 2 or 3 fields, and we know chances of the birds actually showing up there eventually are slim to none. Or guys will go out, oh look, there's a cut cornfield, let's go sit in the cut cornfield and try and traffic hunt. Maybe there's no birds flying over at all. Right? I see that as a common mistake where people will rely on a certain piece of property they always have permission on. And we've seen years where certain fields that are good one year don't see a bird the next year. I mean, try and get out of that frame of mind and get into the scouting frame where you're always going out and actually looking for fields, looking for hunts, knocking on doors, that kind of stuff.
Here's one for you, fellas. How often do you hunt the same field? Let's say birds are still piling in.
We hunted that. So that field out on Bar Line, you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
We hunted that field for 4 or 5 weeks in a row. 4 or 5 weeks.
Every day.
No, once a week.
Once a week for 4 or 5 weeks.
Once a week for 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah, if you're going to hunt the field every day, you're going to drive everything out of it. But we would go in, we'd get our limit, we'd get out, and the birds would come back. They kept coming back.
So I will divulge some top secret information. So my 2 episodes on Hire to Hunt, all right, they're 2 different hunts on back-to-back days, and it's the same field.
Same spot.
Same.
Really?
500 yards the other end of the field. Yeah, because the wind switched.
But I find geese and ducks are different. Like with a goose field, if I hunt the goose field on the Saturday and I can't hunt the Sunday, but like someone else goes with permission to hunt that field, it won't piss me off because they're going to move in a couple days anyway or weeks anyway. But for ducks, like if I take someone to my secret duck spot because we're friends, and then I can't hunt the next day, but they're like, "Oh, I went to your spot." Well, yeah, but I wouldn't go back to that spot for a week because you hunt them,
Yeah.
you hunt ducks that week, and then a week later you let them kind of like settle and rest. And I don't know, that's my theory on ducks personally, but
Well, I'm just a little bit more protective when it comes to ducks than I am geese, and that's just because I think they're a little bit more finicky, and they'll just fuck off for no reason more so than what a
Geese
pot
are
of
easier
geese
to
will,
scout.
right?
They're easier to spot.
Yeah.
Ducks are, well, depends where you are, but ducks can be a little more challenging to find.
Well, they'll leave earlier in the morning.
Mhm.
They'll leave right at first light. You gotta.
I'm pretty sure I'd kick somebody right in the nuts if they come in on my duck hole. I'm pretty sure.
Well, you know, Damien, like when you came out here to hunt, we found that hunt,
Yeah.
that the 5-man day we shot the 5-man limit, like we I think we saw like maybe like 6 ducks, me, you and Mark, we saw 6 ducks pitching into this cornfield that had water in it. And by the time we'd driven down the laneway where we could actually get a point of view and actually see the birds, we were like,
Yeah.
okay, well, it looks pretty thick in there. Like, it looks like there's lots of birds in there. We didn't know that there was like 2,000 mallards in there. We couldn't tell until the next morning. It was the only option we had, but it was an absolute smoke show. We shot 5-man limit in like less than 45 minutes. So,
Yep.
Yeah. It
What was
was.
that hunt, Damien?
awesome.
What?
That was that hunt.
Yeah, that was an amazing hunt. That was.
and not to go backwards.
Yeah.
Here.
So.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Go backwards.
Not to go backwards, but another thing with scouting that I've noticed more so this year is like you'll get to see the same vehicle over and over again, and you'll realize that you know what, there's other hunters out there, and that's how you make connections with other groups. And like this year, there's 2 guys that hunted 5-10 years ago, and I found a good goose spot, and this truck was parked there that I'd seen it the day before, so I actually went and stopped and talked to him, and I didn't recognize his truck because he got a new truck, but I knew the guy. And that's how you make connections with other people that actually hunt, you know? So get out there and scout, boys. Sorry, I just had to make sure I got that in, that talk to the people that you see stopped at the same fields you're stopped at.
I mean, there's no reason you can't hunt together or get together for hunts. If you find a field and you want to get them out for a hunt, there's nothing wrong with that, right?
No.
I mean, if you're, hopefully they reciprocate.
Well, maybe they know that the landowner, when you stop and talk to them, maybe they know the landowner, so it's a way to get in there, right? Stop it. Sorry.
Yeah. Again, I'll say, like, it is only birds, right? So reach out to somebody and try and make. Now, if it's, you know, like if it's 6 o'clock in the morning and you're you know, having your sip of coffee waiting for first light and some asshole comes bahan across your field, hey, can I come hunt with you guys? No, get bent, buddy. But if you're scouting and somebody else is scouting, yeah, reach out, talk to them. But if it's some asshole that's just gonna try and screw up your hunt, and hasn't put in any work, then yeah, get bent, buddy. But yeah, of course, reach out and try and. Everybody says hunters are this tight-knit community, and I think for the most part we'd fucking cut one another's throats for a bird,
You just
especially here in Ontario.
You just said about having some guy just bahaing across the field. I mean, we've had friends do that. So it doesn't have to be someone you don't know.
Yeah, it's true. Like it is competitive, and some guys it's a big ego trip for them. But at the end of the day, especially north of the border, we're such a small community. You know, if we don't manage it properly and we don't respect one another, and I mean, and don't get me wrong, there's legitimate people who give us a bad name, give us a bad rap within our culture, and we don't have time for those people, like poachers or whatever. And but I mean, you got to stay kosher with like-minded individuals. It's not nobody's giving out trophies for this. Like, you know, I like to eat. I like to shoot birds. I like to enjoy the table fare side of it. You know, me and Mark have spent hours upon hours making sausages in this house. It's usually an entire day's worth of work. But you know, which is great, but it's not a measuring competition, that's for sure. So
Another good way to meet people is those DU events or Delta waterfowl events. They haven't happened much this year, but
No.
that's something else, right? I'm bringing that up because the Ducks Unlimited calendar for Ontario is out right now. So if you guys want calendars, reach out to your Ducks Unlimited and support them. I might be selling some.
Yeah.
Got that date
good,
yet.
yeah, good point. And I think I don't know all the details, but I believe Delta has a pretty good fundraiser on the go right now, where it's I think it's a draw for like an entry level package to hunting, sort of, you know, like everything you need to go on your first hunt. And that's a pretty big fundraiser that's starting to make its way around too. I think that just came out.
Mhm.
So, you know, DU and Delta is still out there trying to do their thing, right? They're just trying to work within the parameters of COVID. So it is in my mind our responsibility as hunters to give back as much as we can to these organizations, because they do protect, you know, what it is that we love chasing, right? So it is our responsibility to do something to help them out, in my mind.
Yeah. So get back to going to DU dinners and Delta dinners. It's never a bad idea to grab a few buddies and just head somewhere different. Go to another area. Go somewhere that's an hour and a half, 2 hours from your normal area, and you'll make connections that way too.
And another thing that I like to do is
Oh yeah.
I'll buy tickets for the landowners. Like if we had a great hunt on their fields and they gave me permission for a few fields, I'll get them a ticket for the DU dinner, right? Have them out. So every DU
that's
banquet
pretty
should be
cool.
full.
that's a great idea.
Right?
Yeah, that is a good. I've never heard anybody doing that. That is pretty good.
Well, more so like it was our first banquet and I wanted to make sure all the seats were full. So
Hey,
I mean,
whatever you got to do.
yeah, but you know what? Like they come out, they have a good time, and then the next year, like the one guy, I called him and I said, "Listen, there's no banquet this year, but is it okay if I still hunt the field?" He's like, "Oh no, that was a great thing last year," and he's like, "Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
come on out." So it, you know, you got to thank those landowners, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, big time.
What do you
Big
guys do
time.
to thank them? Like I know around here, I tend to not bring them alcohol. I thought about it this year with the whole Spearhead's decoy lager. I was just going to buy them a few 6-packs, but some of them don't drink, and you don't know if they do or not, right? So
Mhm.
I keep your freezer
We used to give a little bit of meat, or even a gift card to a TSC or something like that was in the area. That's what we did, because you know they're farmers. They always need fucking something.
That's like a good point to you. Like, don't be when you're asking for permission or you're engaging with a farmer, like don't be afraid to ask, like, oh, you know, what can I do something? Like I know guys who like beer, case of beer is a common thing, or a gift card. I know guys who've like, hey, like if you need like an extra hand around, like for a farmhand during the harvest, like who's giving up their time. Like I know my dad's done it for a couple guys back in the day, right? So that's another avenue, but like you don't get to do this without their permission. So make sure you take care of them.
last
one guy,
year.
I was just going to say the one guy that I called this year, I said, if there's any help you need on the farm, let me know. My son's 14 this year. He's probably good at picking stones.
That's the way to do it. Volunteer your son for it.
Sign them up and then don't take them on.
Yeah. Sorry, Mark. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you were just going to say
last year during the youth hunt. I don't know if you remember me and Robar and Reinert and Christy and all the kids were out in the field while Mark Lamont was in milking the cows for the farmer
That's awesome.
during the hunt. Like he said, I'd love to join you, but I got to milk the cows. So he went in and he milked the cows for the farmer. That was awesome.
That is awesome. And that's a shame that the youth hunt isn't happening this year, because that was a big program that you guys had going up there, and a lot of kids got to take advantage of it. That's a real shame that one's not happening this year. And I guess for the most part, I guess all those youth programs aren't. The only people are, like guys like Ryan, like ourselves, that are just, on our own, taking a kid or two out with the buddies. But these big programs are probably halted this year, right?
Mainly, the one we do was halted mainly because the classroom stuff couldn't happen. And by the time it became available that they could do courses, it was too late to get all of it done and still facilitate a hunt. So, if there's nothing that says that no one can go take a kid out, right? You can still take them out and get them to hunt, right? That's what Waterfowl Heritage is all about for the youth hunt.
You can take 2 kids out, can't you?
No, one per person.
It says 2.
No, you can mentor 2. You can mentor 2.
Yeah,
100 can mentor 2.
I just noticed it this year.
So they've changed it, so it's in the regs now.
Okay.
Yeah, so 100.
I thought it used to always be 1-to-1, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. That's pretty good. That's really good if that's the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anytime you can take a young kid, like I was cleaning birds in my driveway the other day, and my neighbor's kid came over. He's 14. He was like, "What are you doing, Ryan?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm cleaning birds." And he had never seen it, and he was pretty interested. And so, like I said, anytime you want to come out, man, it's like, as long as you want to get up early. It was like, I'll take you out just to see if something that interests you, as long as you clear it with your parents, right? So I like, not everybody has a parent that hunts. Lots of people, like I talk about Daryl Gilbert. He got into it through I think through a friend of a family member's friend or whatever, because somebody took him out. Like his dad wasn't a hunter, so don't be afraid to like take a kid out or whatever. So just introduce the next generation to the sport, because we got to keep it going, otherwise it's not going to be there. So
I've taken a few kids out, and I found over the last couple of years, like now that they're 14, 15, 16 years old, I can't take them out every day. I got my own kid to take out, and like logistics, I can't, right? So I'm finding that these kids are now bugging their parents so much that their parents are starting to hunt. So big hunter recruitment if we get more kids out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I know there's a few now. There's a few of the ones we've taken out over the last few years, Ryan, that I don't, not in contact with any of them, but there are a couple that I am in contact with, and they ended up being like, we'll call them full-time hunters. They hunt all fall now, right?
Yeah.
So we planted the seed back then, and they're giving her now.
But man, like that, to have the youth mentor program like that me and Mark volunteered with, like if I had that at my age, like oh man, like it would have been the cat's arse. Like I'm fortunate that I had a father that was heavily invested in the outdoors, but not every kid has that. And most of the kids that come through that program, I'd probably say 70% of them, they're there because their parents aren't interested in the outdoors, or just not interested, but just haven't been exposed to it. And the family day, which was, for me personally, I think was the most awesome part about the whole program, is they get to bring their brothers and sisters and their mom and their dad in, and we kind of run them through the full gamut of all the aspects of waterfowling. And it opens a lot of people's eyes. You're not just like capturing those individual kids you're taking on the hunts, but now you're see the mom and the dad are seeing it, and they're seeing all the ethical and the moral sides of it, and what you do with the game. And I can't tell you how many, being with that program, and I know Mark can speak to it too, I can't tell you how many parents have come up to us after a program and shook our hands and been like, man, this is like the best thing I've ever seen. Like, this is so fantastic. Like, we want to get more involved in it now. And so that program really speaks volumes to what it does for the next generation.
See, my parents didn't hunt, and that's when. So now that I'm into it, I try to take out all the kids I can. And I actually got a message yesterday. This kid, I took him out, and we were there for him getting his first bird 2 years ago.
Awesome.
He sent me that yesterday at 6:45 in the morning. He said, I shot my goose all on my own, and that was his first bird all by himself. So
that's cool.
I was pretty happy about that.
Well, that's you know what? That's a good topic. What's who remembers where and what their first bird was they ever shot?
I do.
Go ahead, start it off.
Oh, well, I was 16, and I was legally shooting birds, and it was a black duck on the salt marshes of in Newfoundland.
I'm trying to think.
It was beautiful.
Mark was in his cribs and in his diapers.
Man,
Caught
so
it
much
up to the
happened when I was a
chainsaw.
kid. So much happened when I was a kid, and I'm not going to get into too many details here. I'll tell you one of my more memorable, we'll call it first hunts, was with my ex-father-in-law, same guy I mentioned earlier, and we went to. He had a leased property here in Ontario, not too far from Napanee, I guess, and went hunting with him one morning, and between me, him, and his friend, we got 23 ducks and geese. So I went from not really waterfowl hunting to 23 ducks and geese in one day. That was pretty amazing. Talk about fun. That hunt there was what got me hooked on waterfowl, right there. So it made me seek out more opportunities after.
I was 27 years old when I shot my first goose, legally, right? Like when I was a kid, like, you know, when I was 12, 13, I had a 22 and I was out shooting groundhogs and shit and shooting all kinds of stuff because we had a farm, right? But I didn't get licensed till I got off the ships, and I was 23 then. And then when I was 27 is when I went and shot my first geese with a farmer, and the farmer's just like, no decoys, nothing. He just took fucking black plastic bags, and he's like, yeah, the geese are here, and he put them out in the field, like just staked them in, and the geese came in, and they were pretty far shots. We got a couple, and that was my first. So, yeah.
I was hunting a flooded cornfield, just me and my dad in the fog, and I was young, like not like too young, but I was younger than 16 at the time. And he had just shot a bird and it sailed off, and it crippled. So he was like, hey, I'm gonna go look for it in the standing corn. He's like, and he gives me the gun. He's like, you know how to shoot this. So he's like, if you see anything, shoot it. And so he tailed off, and then a pair of mallards just whizzed through out of the fog, and I raised up and just kind of put the bead in front of the drake and touched it off, and next thing I know, this drake mallard's falling out of the sky, and I didn't know what to think. So that was my first introduction, and from that point on, it's been a bit of an addiction, to say the least. So.
Here's that awkward silence again, Damien. Fuck's
Yeah.
sake.
Yeah.
Where's your plan, buddy? Where's your fucking plan?
This is what happens. This is what happens when there's not a word doc.
Yeah. Damien didn't send it out.
That's read that.
Hey, it doesn't matter if we read it. It just has to be there. Right?
At least when there's an agenda and there's a word doc, at least I can keep the conversation going.
Punisher beard oil. That's nice stuff, eh?
This episode was brought to you by Punisher Waterfowl Beard Oil.
Don't forget to like and hit that.
Yeah. Is your beard dry and shitty?
Yeah. Is your beard dry?
Let's go story time.
Does it?
Let's go story time. Do some story time.
Story time?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
We got lots of stories.
Fuck yeah. But I don't know. There's some that we can't say though, right?
Well, no, there's some we can't say. There's lots
A lot
we
I
can.
could say a minute ago, so I'm gonna have to let you guys start.
Did you guys see that? Maybe you're not part of 519 hunting and fishing. So
No.
there's a kid that I hunted with last year. I guess he's not a kid. He's like 20, 21 years old maybe. But he was out fishing the other day, and he got this great big fish, and he's all proud of it. And he takes a picture of himself and posts it up on the 519. Well, fuck! Don't some guys just lean into him like, "Hey, to blow out the spot," and like they're all mad at him about it. So, so this morning he was out goose hunting with Chance Rieger from Moon Pie there.
Yeah.
And they shot a tarsal banded bird. So I said, Shrubby, you gotta fucking stop posting this stuff. Blur out the background so we can't tell where you get these things. Poor kid, eh?
Some people are clueless though. Hey, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Hey man, I sent you guys a picture the other day of an Instagram snap of somebody that's out in Saskatchewan right now that's hunting, and here they are standing right in front of the grain silo with the name of the town. Like, way to piss off your guide. Just stand in front of the grain silo, the grain elevator. I mean, stand in front of the grain elevator and
With the town name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, come on out here.
So many birds.
The location is on them.
What's that?
On those elevators, the location is also written on there. It's not just
Yeah,
the town. There's,
What do you mean the location?
like, if you look at that picture, there's a, I can't remember what it was, but there's that the actual it's the like the registered grain elevator number.
Oh, okay. That's funny.
Yeah.
Man, you know what, Ryan? I'm really coming up zero on good stories. Like I know I got a ton of them, but I really can't think of any really good ones right now.
Yeah, I think we covered it. We talked about your life jacket kerfuffle. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was.
Me and Mark have so many stories. Like,
Hey,
man.
I got one that's
tons of
developing
stories.
right now.
It's developing.
That's
Yeah.
developing.
It's hot off the press.
Ooh.
No, it's still in the works.
It's ripening.
Are you talking about the Rusty Heron call nuts thing going on right now?
No, not that. No.
Oh, okay. Because
No.
I'm having fun reading it.
This one involves turkeys, and it involves a turkey from 5 years ago. Ryan might know.
Oh, is that the great white Tom?
Yeah. So tomorrow I'm gonna find out if it's still the same turkey.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, great white buffalo.
Because I was the one who measured the spurs.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
What are you talking about? I got to put this away. I'm trying to listen to you guys and be involved, and I'm trying to read this troll that Rusty Heron's doing on Facebook right now because it's supposedly awesome. So
no
I'll
wonder
just
we got
wait
dead
until-
space. You guys aren't even paying attention.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gee.
sorry. But hey, that's a good thing to add, though. That Rusty is going to be coming on the show next week. That do a little chat with us, so that'll be pretty cool to have Rusty back. And we've got a couple other guests that's reached back, and they want to come back on the show. So that's pretty cool, you know, when they're reaching back to us and saying, "Hey, yeah, I had this happen over the last little bit. Be an awesome topic to come on and talk about." I know it was really cool when Dave said that these fellas were looking to come back on. So that's awesome.
Must be doing something right.
Yeah, and then Mark, I know you know him, Mr. Coke, Dave Coke, down just
I know.
outside of
I know.
Ottawa.
Yeah,
Yeah, so he reached.
There's a good story. Yeah.
Yeah, so he reached out to me last night, and absolutely, I known Dave Coke for a
Great
while
guy.
through DU
So-
and stuff. Yeah, awesome guy, and his son is
Yeah.
amazing.
So he runs Duck Junkies, and
Yeah, so that's
first
yeah,
year I
so
moved to Ontario.
Go.
Oh, sorry, not first year. First year, Mark had moved to Ontario, so I'd been there for 2 years, and he ran this Facebook page, and I followed it, and he had a draw one day, and I had won the draw. And he's like, "You and a friend come out and we'll hunt in my area." So invites us out to his area, brought us out to his blind out on this marsh. Awesome guy. We got some good shooting in. It was an all-day thing. Like he was like, you know, he brought this big cooler, cooked us breakfast on a Coleman stove. Like, it was just awesome. Brought us coffee and everything. Like, not an outfitter, just a genuine nice guy. And he just wants to like meet and network with new people. And so the afternoon we'd been hunting there and got into the afternoon. He's like, "Well, why don't you guys follow me? We'll go back to my house." And brings us back to his house, and in the back of his property is just all these like little like channels that go into a marsh. He goes, "Hey," it's like, "I've got a canoe back there. If you guys just want a canoe back there and see what you find, get into maybe do some jump shooting or something like that." And gave us his canoe. Like, it was a great day. Like, we didn't shoot a ton of birds, but it was just like we were just chasing birds all day long. It was awesome, and he took care of us, set us all up. Great guy. So I still remember how much fun we had that day.
Yeah, so he reached out to me last night. Loves what the brand is doing, and wanted to know if he could start promoting the brand on Duck Junkies, and try and get a little bit more awareness out about Punisher waterfowl. Just loves what we're doing and stuff. And so I was like, absolutely, I will take some promotion anytime if you're willing to offer it up. So so he made a post today, sent me some numbers on some analytics on how well it's doing and stuff. So real big shout out to him, and you know, testament to what you're saying, just an all around good man, and honestly just wants to do good by other people, right? And doesn't expect nothing in return, just wants to be a good human being.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So what calls you guys running this year?
Same old.
Same old. Molt gear for a goose call right now, and duck lander for my duck calls.
Still got my field proven that Ryan gave me there a few years ago. And
yeah, I'm gonna show you my field proven actually.
Same one.
It's head. Oh yeah.
Close on.
Hold on, he says.
Hold on.
No, I said close on.
We're showing calls now, are we?
No.
Last time I was on a Zoom call and someone said, "I want to show you something."
This is my field proven adrenaline, which I love. However, it's paid the price over years.
Oh, is that another one?
No, it's the same one.
Same one.
But it had a crack in it. I don't know, from jumping in the layout or running back, guiding or something. And eventually it just let go. So, however, I've been using it this year and still got a good sound, but I will send it away because they do have a lifetime warranty or guarantee. So yeah, I know Field Hudnall watches this show often. So Field, when you're watching this, buddy, this one's coming for you.
And feel free to just drop us an email and let us know when a good time for you to come on the show.
That's right.
We'll get you in.
Yeah.
We got the daisy cutter.
Yeah, I was just going to say that a daisy cutter.
Love me some daisy cutter.
My Drake whistle, my Punisher waterfowl Drake whistle.
Drake whistle. I love that call, man.
I can't wait for the next Punisher call to come out.
Oh,
Right?
I have a feeling it's going to be real soon.
For the people listening and can't see, I just winked.
That's everyone.
Yeah, Dave, there's something in your eye.
Look,
Real soon.
Yep.
Real soon we'll be making that announcement, and it is a beautiful, beautiful call.
Allegedly.
Oh, I've seen it.
Oh fuck! Well, good.
Why haven't we seen it in the chat group? What's up with that?
Because it's a secret.
Yeah.
For them, it doesn't have to be for us.
It's a secret, fellas. It's a secret.
Oh, now I won't be able to sleep tonight. Mostly because of the puppy, but also because of the call.
Yeah.
But that's something I'd like to point out too, is that these people buying the calls, I see it. Fuck, I've probably seen it 10 times in the last couple of days. Like, what's the best call for a new caller? And I'm looking for a new call. What should I get? It's been answered 100 fucking times. Like, read the answers. And to tell you the truth, if you're in Canada like we are, support a guy. Like, if you're looking for a duck call, get in contact with Ryan Douglas, get in contact with Chance Rieger, get in contact with any of those guys, right? If you're running a goose call, Heron, again, Chance Rieger, Moonpie. Like, the support you're going to get from those guys is second to none. They make a hell of a call. They put the time and love into it. Anyway, I just thought I'd get that out.
You're 100%. Yeah, you're 100% right. Like, my best example I can do is I had an okay call last year. Tried it. I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it sounded, anything about it. So I kind of believed that the call could be good if it was just tuned and looked after. So I sent it to Ryan. Ryan tuned her up, sent her back to me. And yesterday, I was on the back deck here, Ryan, and that thing just screams, man. It is, you know what? That's a good little call that I didn't think was much of it, but it is a good little call.
I was going to ask you how that turned it out. So,
yeah, I tell you what, I like it. I really do. It is a good call. I like the way it rolled. It rolled well. It's a real good high end. I didn't try the low end, but the high end was good. I liked it, man. And so it just goes to show all these fellas that are asking, you know, what's a good entry level call? Listen, buy the call that you want, support some local guys, and have that guy tune it for you. Because when you break out of the packaging from, you know, the big box store, that, you know, when they say that the calls are all tuned, that they're not necessarily always all tuned. So, you know,
well, it's not that they're not tuned. They're just not tuned to you. We're all different, right?
Right.
Like,
yeah, right. That's what I mean.
It's like trying on a pair of shoes. Like, just be, you know, somebody. We all four of us, we put all different levels amount of air into a call. So, the great callers can pick up any call and make it sound good. But like the mediocre to novice guys, find a call that fits you. Like, find a call that you know, we pick up, you feel confident on, you feel like you can make good sounds on it. Because everybody's different. So a lot of people blow out more hot air than others, as we know. So,
you know, the one call that I like to, when I take kids out hunting or whatever, or new hunters for duck calls, those calls they give out at Delta banquets, they are actually a decent call. It's surprising when I got my first one. Like, every now and then you get one that's crap, but man, go to a Delta banquet and get one of those free calls, and it's decent for a beginner. You know, it doesn't cost anything but a dinner ticket that you're going to go to anyway.
They're great for youth days.
Exactly.
Youth hunter or something. Those things are great to have on hand. I think we take a bunch of them and we'll have set up a cleaning station and everything, so that the kids can learn to use the calls. Well, we just get them to blow in the calls a little. There's not enough time there to show them how to use a call, but we get them kind of started, and then once all the kids are done, then you clean them, and the next kids come through, and you got another 4 or 5 calls already. So they're great to have on hand for that kind of stuff. Yep. And every now and again, there's a certain kid, like maybe after the hunt or whatever, and you got one of those calls, you can give it to him, right? So he has a call, right? Because they don't.
Yep.
A lot of them don't have that stuff.
Yep. No, it's true. I mean, when I was younger, it was my favorite aspect of hunting. I mean, I still enjoy it. I still love it, but you know, it's a unique thing, and it's probably, there's no other hunting sport, I don't think, where calling is as much of a factor, but it's also kind of overrated at the same time. It's pretty unique in the sport. But don't be discouraged by it. Like, just practice and master the fundamentals and just have fun with it. Enjoy it. You know, if you you know, don't be afraid to upset your parents or your spouse or whatever, or the neighbor's dog. Like, just have fun with it, man. It's not going to sound great at first. It's like somebody trying to learn the saxophone for the first time. But
saxophone.
But they're very much a musical instrument, right? Like,
They are.
Holy shit! Like after trying to make my own here.
Oh, hey, Ryan, why don't you do Sandstorm for us?
I would love to, but I have 4-year-olds sleeping above me.
Right.
Yeah.
My favorite was
Another time.
when Rusty and was it Sean, that Sean guy from the States, were doing the call competition, and Rusty got the duck call out, and he was doing Eye of the Tiger on the duck call. Dan.
Man, I have a Buck Gardner video. They're hunting around Christmas time, and he starts playing like "We Wish You Merry Christmas" on his duck call, and I was like, for me, it was like the coolest thing. Like he just hit the tone and the notes perfectly, and I'm trying to replicate that. But it's a good example, like managing your air, managing your tone. Like, if you can figure out how to do that, then you're on your way to like being able to do anything else on a call.
So when I went to NWTF this year, I was in checking out all the turkey calls, and we're looking at all the turkey calls, and then all these guys I don't know if you're supposed to or not, but there's these guys like testing out all these like really nice turkey calls. All of a sudden, like the best gobble I thought it was a real turkey, comes from over by the fucking duck and goose side. What the fuck is that? So then these guys are calling again. All of a sudden we hear it again. Well, it's Brad Samples on a duck call, but like the perfect gobble. I was like, holy shit. So that was the first day I met him, because I ran over him like, how the fuck did you do that? And then when I got home, I started practicing, and as soon as I got it, I sent him a message. I was just like, Brad, I almost got it. Sent him, like, that was how I met Brad. Like, but man, that guy can pull a gobble on a duck call like nobody's business.
You're gonna have people going out to turkey hunt now to duck calls.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, fellas, we've been on now for getting close to 90 minutes. And as much as the millions and millions of fans out there love to hear us chat, I think this could be a good time to cut her off. Millions. Cut her off here, fellas, and get ready for next week. It was great. It was a good show. We were all over the place, the full spectrum tonight. So there was no clear plan, as anybody will be able to figure out. But just go around the horn here right quick. Any last words, Ryan?
Thanks for having me on, Damon. It's been a pleasure. I'd like to come back sometime. No, but I do miss Phil. His banter, his wit, his musk.
I wonder if he's wearing bicycle shorts right now.
He's definitely on a bike with Daisy Dukes and his pistol holstered up somewhere in Oshawa.
Does he wear it on a belt, or does he wear like a shoulder fucking harness when he's on the pedal?
I'll bet she's got it in like the back, like
the undercover guys.
Like the undercover guys, yeah.
Do any of the millions and millions of listeners, are any of them on the other side of Toronto?
Right now? That could, yeah.
Do a little recce.
Speaking of that, we love our first responders. We love our police officers. We love you, Phil. Miss you, buddy.
Mark, anything for the last words, buddy?
Man, fucking good show tonight, boys. Good seeing you as always. Can't wait to get up to or get down to Kingston with you, and we'll hopefully smash a few ducks. It's always good.
Yeah,
that's what I'm looking forward to now, boys.
Yeah,
start planning the trip next year, boys, for your East Coast road trip.
As always.
Yeah. Dave, come,
buddy.
Feed you scallops, lobster, and shoot mallards and flooded corn.
You might even let Phil go.
You had me at lobster.
Phil's got to wear pants if he comes.
No, you know.
I'm not sure if the East Coast is ready for Phil yet.
Or Phil's ready for the East Coast.
Yeah. Dave, last words, buddy.
Oh, it's good, David. It was good to talk to you guys again. See you next week, fuckers.
Yeah, it is, boys. I really appreciate you guys taking the time out and coming on and chatting. It's awesome to see us, and to chat and keep the conversations going. Next week we're going to have Rusty on, so it'll be good. It'll be another good show. Phil will be back for all of his fans that are out there listening. Philly will be back next week. With that, big love. Surround yourself with good people. Please spread the word about the Union 0430. We are as advertised. What you see is what you get. So big love, everybody. Until next week.